we are now joined under the hood by Brad Keselowski, driver for RFK Racing, here on 107.5 The Fan. And we're going under the hood here. Of course, BSwift joining me from Hot 100.9. Brad, back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You are, of course, a winner on the oval here from back in 2018. What does it mean to you to be back here on the oval this time around?
Yes, it's the return of, the crown jewel, which is the Brickyard 400. And so I'm glad to see us get back here on the oval. Is it quad oval? I never understand what I'm supposed to call it here. But no, it's good to be back. And, the success that you have at a track like this, it just carries so much weight. This is a track that you go back and you look at the Brickyard 400 winners over the years, and with few exception, they're champions of the sport. They're Hall of Famers. It's a big race to win, and we want to win it. We won it once before, and I think we'll have a great car for tomorrow. We have qualifying here later today, but I think we'll have a great car for tomorrow that we'll have a shot. So I'm excited, and winning it once was great. Winning it twice is just better.
Oh, wow. Now, let me ask you a question, because I noticed on your Instagram how big family is.
Yep.
You're around with kids and everybody. Why is that so important? Because I've noticed you'll hit the track with the kid, you'll get on scooters, you'll push the what's the name around with the baby, the stroller with the baby. Why is that so important?
Well, my wife and kids are actually just about to get here today. I'm excited to see them, but I'm just really blessed. Look, I'm not exactly carrying cancer, right? I'm a race car driver, and I'm really blessed to have a great family. 3 kids. My wife Paige is finally got a boy, my 3rd kid, and that was really exciting. And I want them to be able to be a part of my life, and I want to be a part of their life, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that's I'm just very fortunate to be where I'm at in my life, and I want them to enjoy it. My kids right now are so young that they probably won't remember most of their experience at the racetracks, but I got to do that as a kid. I grew up with my dad who raced, and we would travel all around, particularly the Midwest. My dad raced in the ARCA Series, and I can remember coming here to Indiana, running over at the little track over there, IRP, running over it. We ran once at the Indiana State Fairgrounds, a dirt track.
Oh, wow.
That was fun. And then all across the Midwest, a lot in Illinois with the different fairgrounds there, in Ohio, Michigan, where we're from. So, those are some core memories for me. I feel blessed to be a part of the sport. Hopefully one day my kids will look back and feel the same way.
Talk with Brad Keselowski, driver for RFK Racing here on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. So Brad, last time we were here when you won in 2018, you were of course driving for Team Penske at the time.
Yep.
Now of course you venture off into the ownership realm of things as well as being a driver, but nevertheless, with Roger being an owner here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, what did it mean to you to win at the Oval while also knowing that Roger Penske was eventually going to be owning this place?
Yeah, it was nice to check that off his bucket list, right? He had won Indy 500 so many times, but until I won here in 2018, he had never won here with the stock cars, with NASCAR and the Brickyard 400. So I know that was one that he was eager to get done. And that feeling of driving off of turn 4 and coming down the front stretch here and knowing you're going to win was just, unrivaled in my career with different wins I've had. And knowing that one of the reasons it kind of gave me goosebumps was for him was really exciting.
Now, I want to talk to you about the Checker Flag Foundation. Why is that so important to you?
Yeah, so I got a lot going on. I got the race team. I got the wife and kids. I've got my manufacturing business, which is out of North Carolina.
How do you find time to drive?
No kidding. And believe me, some days I ask the same thing. But no, and then I have the foundation, Checker Flag Foundation, which is a 501c3, which is the fancy thing for government certified, et cetera, that's made to help first responders and, of course, our veterans or service members who've been injured in battle or served their country and maybe didn't come back the way they went out. And so, I'm again super proud to be a race car driver, but I recognize that the freedoms and privileges we have are pretty amazing.
Right.
Not everybody gets to do them. I haven't been everywhere in the world, but I've been enough places in the world to know that a lot of people don't have it as good as we do here in the United States, and I just feel really lucky, and I think it's important to recognize that. Gratitude is really important to me, and helping others who are going through struggles is really important to me. And I look at our service members and our first responders, like those are the people that literally go out there and are willing to give their lives for us to have our freedoms. And I think it makes sense for us to help them back where and when we can.
Most definitely.
Kirk Darling and BSwift here, joined by Brad Keselowski here on 93.5, 107.5 The Fan. Brad, you got to go out onto the track yesterday for the first time in practice. Tell us about how it handled. How do you think the racing's going to be? What's your perspective going into qualifying?
Well, this car, the next-gen car, is a lot different than the car we ran here last time. We were in the Gen 6 car, so to speak. This car has a number of unique features to it that require it to do different things and to drive differently. The cars we ran here 5 years ago, the performance window in the car was really all based around the front of it, being as close to the ground as it could be without hitting the ground. And so when you would go over bumps or when you would drive into the corner, you really had to manage how the car would kind of almost land into the corner with the front. And with the next-gen car that we're running this year at Brickyard, it's more about the rear of the car than it is the front. The car makes performance with this underbody, rear diffuser, and you kind of have to get the bottom right on the back of the car. And so the way you drive it is differently. You're less concerned with how softly you drive it down in the corner, but you're more concerned about the bumps. When you go over the bumps with this car, it loses that rear grip, and it can really quickly spin out. And I think we saw that yesterday in practice. There was at least one car that spun out off of turn 2. It's got a couple bumps down there. It can get really slick, really fast, so really easy to spin out. When the car gets sideways, it's very difficult to recover it, more like the Indy cars are when they race here than the generation before. So in the race, I think what you're going to see is turn 1, particularly on restarts, and turn 2 on restarts, it's going to be really easy to get in trouble. And so you have to be really smart with that. It's going to be a really challenging race because of that. The other thing about the next-gen car is, it has a different, it's got a transaxle, where the other car had a transmission, different drivetrain setup, and that allows it to where you can shift much easier. It's a 5-speed rather than a 4-speed. And with it being a 5-speed, you can downshift into another gear and be right at the power band of the engine. So you're going to see a lot of shifting in the cars in the race that we never saw here before. And so that'll help the cars a little bit with traffic and things of that nature as well. So those are some of the key differences. All in all, you're probably going to see a fairly similar race to what you saw here the last Brickyard 400. Pit road here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, very, very narrow. Very easy to get in trouble. Probably going to see some incidents there. In fact, NASCAR preemptively made a change to the rules for the race weekend where they actually slowed down the pit road speed. Last time we were here in 2020 on the oval, we had an unfortunate incident where a crew member got seriously injured. So we slowed the cars down on pit road to try to manage that and make that a little safer. So a couple of, I think, really big changes from where we were in 2020, last time we raced on the oval, and managing those will be really important.
All right, before we let you go, question. Do you have any race day rituals, superstitions that you follow getting ready to go out?
I try to be at least a really simple guy. I believe in the basics. Like I take a good shower, I eat a good breakfast, drink some water. But there's some people that like Lucky Socks, or they wear the same shirt, which that sounds kind of gross.
It sounds real gross.
I don't do any of that stuff. I always look at those guys and think they're weird. They think I'm weird, but that's okay. But no, I've never gotten into any of the ritual kind of stuff. I just believe in doing the basics right.
That makes sense. I like that.
Here we go. He's Brad Keselowski here on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Brad, best of luck this weekend.
Thank you, guys.
Good to see you.
Appreciate all the fans coming out here to the Brickyard. It's a really special track. Hope you enjoy your time here. We have a beautiful weekend for racing, and hopefully we can go win, but glad to have your support. Thank you.
Definitely. Best of luck. Brad Keselowski going under the hood with us here on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.